Hola mis amigos, yo soy Rachel and we're back with another episode of Lifeline, Crisis Line, Help Text Line. I still don't know the name of it, even though I've been playing it for a little bit now. Where we last left off, we talked to Grandma, and she told us a little bit about the drool and why it was so important to the alien lady. And now, the dead person's wife is back. And that's where we are now. We told him last time he could go home and get changed, but from the looks of it here, I guess he couldn't have. So let's see how this goes.
Hey, H. You told me I had time to go home. I just got a call from my boss making sure I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. I'm 15 minutes away. Did you even look at the flight time, or did you just guess?
I'm sorry. I guessed. I honestly didn't know.
That's just great. Thanks for nothing. If I drive like a maniac, I should get there on time.
Or what we could do is rewind, so that way you can go to the place as quickly as possible and not take a shower. It's less than an hour away, so you don't have time.
Shoot. I guess I have to go there straight. Fortunately, I have ordered my glove box for such an emergency. I'll talk to you in about 20 minutes. Turning into the airport now, you got me here right on time. Thanks for looking up for me. Austin Bergstrom International Airport. I'm sitting in my car in the drop-off lane, waiting until the last second to go inside. I don't want to do this. I'm shaking.
It's gonna be okay, man. Don't even think about it. It's fine.
Thanks for understanding. It's really difficult letting someone know their spouse just died. It's easy to pretend sometimes that what I do is just a job like anybody else's. I mean, I talk to people, I write reports, I fill out timesheet and expense reports. In a lot of ways, it's just a job, like any other. Times like this, it hits me. My job is about death. People die, and I have to deal with it. And it sucks.
You're gonna have to be strong, man. I mean, you got into this line of work. Just be strong.
I know. It's just pretty much the hardest thing I do in my job. At least I know if I'm the one doing the notification. I can do it well. I can be comforting and supportive. That's my thing, what I do best. Here's what we know about Mia Westerman. She's from Houston. She has a BA in psychology from Texas A&M. She's the CEO of an organic dog food company based here in Austin called Bark of the Future. She and Jason have been married for 5 years. The airline set aside a conference room I can use to talk to Mia. I'm going to meet with her now. Back in a minute. I'm here in the conference room. Someone from the airline met Mia at the gate and is bringing her to me as we speak. I'm looking at Mia's driver's license picture on my phone. She seems awfully young to be losing a husband. Man, this sucks. And there's another thing that sucks. We have to pay close attention to her to see if she might be a person of interest.
What's a person of interest? What do you mean specifically on that? Enlighten me more.
A person of interest is someone who's not a suspect, but they could potentially be one, and we haven't cleared them.
But she was out of town. That makes no sense.
Houston's less than an hour's flight from here, and we've established, and there's only a 3-hour drive, I think. So she had plenty of time to come back. I'll have Deitch check to see if she flew back here yesterday. It seems improbable, though. Here she is. I'll put the speech-to-text thingy on. Hi, Miss Westerman. Please sit down.
What's going on? Who are you? Anyone has told me that there's some kind of medical emergency.
I'm sorry, Miss Westerman. Your husband has passed away.
What? What are you talking about?
Your husband's body was found earlier today. We believe he was murdered. I'm so very sorry for your loss. Now I'm going to wait for her to talk, remind me, and I'll explain why in a bit.
Jason was murdered? How? What happened? Who did this?
Oh my god, that moves too much.
We're not sure yet. We're gonna find out though. I promise. I'm very sorry, ma'am.
What do I do now?
Your sister lives here in town, isn't that right?
Yeah, she does. Is she okay?
She's fine. I just thought you might like us to call her and let her know what happened. I can also take you to her if you like.
Okay, yes. I'd like to talk to my sister, please.
I'm going to sign off here for a bit so I can take care of her. I'll check back with you later.
Explain to me what... I don't know what that means, but I want to know what it means.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me. I almost forgot. Clearly, I really do need... Here's something most people don't know. When someone is innocent of a crime, they almost always ask what happened, who did it, and why. They ask right away. Not guilty people. They rarely think to ask those things because they already know the answers. That's why I waited. Mia immediately asked how her husband died. It doesn't prove she's innocent, but there's something to consider. I'm off. She looks so sad. So forlorn. So alone. I hope her sister is someone who can take care of her. It's a terrible thing to lose someone. It's even worse if you're doing it alone. Talk to you soon. Okay, I just dropped off Mia at her sister's. She didn't talk at all during the car ride. She didn't cry either. She's probably just in shock. I've seen it before. But it might be something else. Oh hey, here's a report about the murder on the radio. Let's have a listen.
In local news, an Austin area man was found dead in the backyard of a Lake Austin home today. The victim was a 33-year-old Jason Letter, an attorney for a local law firm. Homicide Sergeant Tasha Wheeler says police suspect foul play, but she did not release the names of any potential suspects.
Nice. That was smart.
Why was it smart? I'm so confused.
Sergeant Wheeler gave some facts, but she deliberately left out an important but obvious part of the crime. The swimming pool. We can use that.
Still confused here. Please make more sense.
When we're questioning a suspect, I can get them talking about the crime. If they mention anything about the swimming pool, then I know they were there. Because otherwise, there's no way they could have heard about it. Clever. We have another big choice now. I could do another interview, but I also want to look at the crime scene again. When I was there earlier, it was dark, and I didn't know as much about the case. But now, with your help, I feel like I can do a much better job. I feel like I'm missing something there.
Well, if you couldn't get enough evidence and clues at the crime scene before, it would be better to check it again. Just in case. Just in case.
Let's see. The crime scene is a few miles west of here. It will take me about 10 minutes. Talk to you then. I just pulled up to the crime scene. This is all so weird.
What's weird?
Just that, you know, the last time I was here, things were normal. I had a case. It was going to take some effort. That's my life. And now, everything is different. The sun has risen past the cliff face behind the house, so it's daylight now. At 3802 Water's Edge, Jason Letter is now no longer lying by the side of the pool, having been taken to the morgue. Otherwise, things look like they did when I left. The lead criminalist, Cordelia Wiseman, just saw me and is heading this way. She looks irritated. I'll put the app on speech-to-text mode, like before.
Hey, Speedo. Thanks for the fun crime scene. This was a huge mess.
I keep asking the murderers to commit their crimes in sterile environments, but I haven't had any takers yet.
Well, get on that.
What can you tell me?
Right now? Not much. We skimmed the pool and did a 50-foot sweep. But it's outdoors. It's windy. We got his cell phone, but it's smashed and wet. Won't even boot up. We'll send it to a tech lab in Houston. To summarize, the scene is a big fat loser.
Hang on. I'm gonna take some quick notes on my phone. This is me typing. Anything I should ask her?
Well, they found a phone, and that's all looks like they found, so ask about the body. They might have something on the body that she could tell us.
Good idea. Cortelli's not a pathologist, but she's been doing this for a long time. Did you know anything about the body? Guess at how exactly he died?
He didn't drown, I can tell you that much. No flecking around the lips, and the EMTs said there was no water in his lungs when they went to resuscitate.
Got it. Any guess about how he got so beat up?
He got tons of lacerations on his arms and face, and then a bunch of blunt force trauma to boot. One thing I didn't see was defensive wounds. Might have missed those, though.
How would she have missed them? If she did a full body... Did you do a full body scan? What's your name again? Cordelia?
Why might you have missed him?
He'd been in the water for about 24 hours. It's hard to get a sense of his injuries as a result. The pathologist will be able to tell you more, I'm sure. Keep in mind, my specialty is fibers. If you have any fiber queries, I'm your girl. I can tell polyester from rayon at 100 yards. I'm amazingly fun at parties.
What else should I ask her?
Ask if she found any evidence. I mean, why not?
Did you find anything during your sweep, besides the phone?
If you look by the pool, you can see the tire tracks where they drove straight over the grass to dump him. And there's a trail of blood near the tracks, presumably from the killing dragging the body into the pool. I assume the blood belonged to the victim, but we won't know without testing. And you know how long that takes. Ask if you could see some blood. For a quick blood sample.
Let's take a look at that blood. You never know. We're walking over to the pool now. If you're wondering how I can do all this and type to you at the same time, it's because I'm a world champion texter. It's the only way my sisters will communicate with me, so I've gotten pretty good at it. We're here walking past the edge of the driveway. I should say, one of the edges is the driveway. It's one of those kinds that loop around in front of the house without an entrance and an exit. I guess rich people can't be bothered to put their cars in reverse. Hey, if you lived in this house, and you always use valet when you went out, you'd never have to.
Here we go. Take a look.
Like she said, there's a set of tire tracks leading off of the driveway and through the gates. Dollies.
What the fuck are dollies?
Dollies are dull wheels. Big pickup trucks had them. The vehicle that dumped the body here must have been one of those.
It's been raining, so the grass is all torn up, and you can see the tracks clearly. Note the toward the pool here. And then here, there's some irregular bleeding up to the edge of the pool. Dried blood.
Huh. There's something weird about this.
What's weird? Again, you're not being specific.
Honestly, I can't quite place what's weird about it. I try to get a picture in my mind of what happened at the scene when the crime took place. And this doesn't fit. I can't see it. Usually that means something. I just have no idea what it means.
Look around some more. You could have missed something.
I've got to get back to work, Alex. We're trying to wrap up. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Have fun.
I'm gonna look around a bit. There's something not quite right. If you wanted to dump a body, it only sort of makes sense to do it here. The river is right there. If the killer had dumped the body in the river, it'd be washed up against Tom Miller Dam by now, out of sight. Why dump the body here? There's something else, but I can't quite work out what it is.
Well, think hard, man. Think hard and clever.
I am thinking hard, or at least as hard as I can. Thinking isn't my specialty lately. That's why I'm telling a complete stranger all of my business on a helpline app. Least you forget. Anyway, I'm just kind of walking the scene now, trying to picture what might have happened. But I got nothing. Something about those tracks and the bloody smear bugs me. I want to see them again.
Good idea. I don't know why, but good idea.
Okay, I'm walking back over there. And here we are again. What is it that bothers me about this?
Something about the tire tracks?
Yeah, there's something weird about the treads pointing toward the pool. But what?
They shouldn't be visible unless they skidded really hard.
No, that's not it. I wish I could think of what it was. I feel like I missed something huge here. Damn it! I can't think of anything else to do. Guess I'll get out of here. Talk to you in a little while.
Okay, so that didn't work, so what about it's the wrong direction?
Wait, you're right. If someone drove the truck up to dump the body, why not just back it up too? Then you could just shove the body right into the water. If you park the truck facing the pool, you have to drag the body all the way around it for no reason. It makes no sense. Unless
what?
Unless he wasn't driven here at all. The truck didn't dump the body. What if he fell?
Fell? From where?
The truck? From the cliff behind the house. Remember that? Neither Cordelia nor I considered it because the tire tracks were so obvious. A body that fell off a cliff. If it tumbled just right, it might be able to land in the pool. Here's what I'm guessing happened. The killer pushes Letter off the cliff top above. Letter falls smack dab into the middle of the pool. Then the killer drives down here to make sure that Letter is dead.
Then why the blood smear?
Yeah, I have no idea about that. I'm not sure how it fits in at all. You realize what this means. There's another scene. Even the scene where Letter was murdered. And it's directly above us. Oh jeez. I'm such an idiot. How could I not remembered? You know what's directly above me? No. Mount Bonnell. It's just a little park at the top of the cliff directly above us. I haven't been there since I was a kid. But if I remember correctly, it's directly above me. That's where I need to go. Hang on. It should take just a few minutes to drive there. I'm here now at the entrance to the park at Mount Bonnell. There's a great parking area, and then a bunch of steps that lead up to the side of the mountain. The area here is thick with ash juniper trees, live oaks, and scrub bushes. Going up the steps now, they say there are 100 of them, but I counted once, and it's actually 104. Which bums me out for some reason. Well, Bonnell has a dark history. As it happens, the first mention in history is when a white man killed a Tonawaka Indian he happened upon up here. A few years later, some Tonokawa hid up here after kidnapping and killing a white settler. So tit for tat, I guess. Legend has it that the place was once called Antoinette's Leap, after a girl who leapt to her death to escape some Indians. And then sometime around 2003, a girl named Ivy jumped off. Nobody could ever figure out why. Maybe I should look into it someday. Hard to type and walk up steps. I'll be back with you in a minute. Something just occurred to me when I was walking up this here. Letter's boss told me that Letter had a meeting with potential buyer for crystals yesterday morning. What if this is where the meeting took place? Something to consider. Still about 20 more steps to go. I'm at the top. A little more out of breath than I admit. Wow. What do you see? If it's a murder? The view is unbelievable. Google view from Mount Bonnell if you don't believe me. If you turn to the right, you can see all the way up the river to Pennypacker Bridge. If you turn to the left, you can see downtown Austin spread out at your feet. Across the river are some zillion-dollar homes nestled on the trees at the water's edge. What should I do first up here? There's nobody up here right now. The place is deserted. I can feel this is as a murder scene. I can imagine the different ways it could have happened. I just have to narrow it down. I'll start by looking around by the cliff edge or by some stone observation deck.
Well, that's wrong at the end of this episode. I'm sorry that I can't read very well at all. I'm sorry that I slur my words around and everything. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hasta, la vista, baby.